White Egrets, the book that gave him the Nobel Prize in Literature, 2010. And the poem is the fourth poem in his collection. It is also titled White Egrets, poem number 4. Cautions at times light, and how often it will allow the morning shadows to lengthen across the lawn. The stalking egrets to wriggle their beaks and swallow when you, not they, or you and they are gone. For clattering parrots to launch their fleeted sunrise, for April to ignite the African violet in the drumming world that dampens your tired eyes. Behind 2 clouding lenses, sunrise, sunset, the quiet ravages of diabetes. Accept it all with level sentences. With scoped settlement, the satsage stanza learn how the bright lawn puts up no defenses against the egrets stabbing questions, and the night's answer. The elegance of those white orange-peeled egrets, each like a stalking ewe, the thick olive trees, cedars consoling a stream that roars strangely in the wet season, into that peace beyond desires and beyond regrets at which I may arrive eventually, whose palms droop in the sun like palanquins, with tigerish shadows under them. They shall be there after my shadow passes with all its sins, into a green thicket of oblivion, with the rising and setting of 100 suns over Santa Cruz Valley, when I loved in vain. I watched the huge trees tossing at the edge of the lawn. Like a heaving sea without crest, the bamboos plunged their necks like roped horses as yellow leaves torn from the whipping branches turned to an avalanche. All this before the rain scarcely pours from the burst, sodden canvas of the sky like a hopeless sail, gusting in sheets and hazing the hills completely, as if the whole valley were a hole outriding the gale, and the woods were not trees, but waves of a running sea. When light cracks and thunder groans as if cursed, and you were safe in a dark house deep in Santa Cruz with the lights out, the current suddenly gone, you think, who housed the shivering hawk, and the impeccable egret, and the cloud-colored heron, and the parrots who panic in the false fire of dawn? These birds keep modeling for Audubon, the snowy egret or white heron in a book that in my youth would open like a lawn in emerald Santa Cruz, knowing how well they look, strutting perfection. They speckle the islands on riverbank, in mangrove marsh or cattle pasture, gliding over ponds, then balancing on the rage of a silken heifer, or fleeing disaster in hurricane weather, and picking ticks with their electric stab as if it were sheer privilege to study them in their mythical conceit, that they have beat across the sea from Egypt with the pharaonic ibis, its orange beak and feet profiled and quiet to adorn a crypt, and launch themselves with wings that beating faster are certain as a saris when they beat. The perpetual ideal is astonishment. The cool green lawn, the quiet trees, the forest, on the hill there, then the white gasp of an egret sent sailing into the frame, then tittering to rest with its gawky stride, erect, an egret emblem. Another thought surprises. A hawk on the wrist of a branch, soundlessly like a falcon, shoots into heaven, circling above praise or blame, with the same high indifference as yours, now dropping to tear a filled mouths with its claws. The page of the lawn and this open page are the same. An egret astonishes the page, the high hawk calls over a dead thing, a love that was pure punishment. I hadn't seen them for half of the Christmas week, the egrets, and no one told me why they had gone. But they are back with the rain now, orange beak, pink shanks, and stubby head, back on the lawn where they used to be in the clear, limitless rain of the Santa Cruz Valley, which, when it rains, falls steadily against the cedars till it misses the plain. The egrets are the color of waterfalls and of clouds. Some friends, the few I have left, are dying, but the egrets stalk through the rain as if nothing mortal can affect them, where they lift like abrupt angels sail, then settle again, Sometimes the hills themselves disappear, like friends, slowly. But I am happier that they have come back now, like memory, like prayer. With the leisure of a leaf falling in the forest, pale yellow spinning against green, my ending. Soon it will be dry season, the hills will rust. The egrets dip their necks undolent, bending, stabbing at worms and grubs after the rain. Sometimes erect as bowling pins, they stand as strips of cotton wool pew from the mountain. Then when they move gawkily, they move this hand, with their feet splayed fingers, their darting necks. We share one instinct. Their ravenous feeding my pen's beak, plucking up wriggling insects like nouns and gulping them, the nib reading as it rides, shaking off angrily what its beak rejects. Selection is what the egrets teach on the wide open lawn. Heads nodding as they read in purposeful silence, a language beyond speech. We were by the pool of a friend's house in St. Croix, and Joseph and I were talking. He stopped the talk on this visit, and I hoped that he would enjoy to point out with a gasp, not still or stalking, but fixed in the great fruit tree, a sight that shook him, like something out of Bosch, he said. The huge bird was a sepulchral egret, or heron. The unutterable word was always with us, like Eumaeus, a third companion. What got him, who loved snow, what brought it on, was that the bird was such a spectral white. Now when at noon or evening on the lawn, the egrets soar together in noiseless flight or tack like a regatta, the sea-green grass, they are seraphic souls, as Joseph was.